rare and balanced view on politics in today's world. Based on facts, born of rationality, common sense, and logic, providing context on today's events. This is American Perspective with Rick Thomas.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to American Perspective. I am your host, Rick. You know, when the Democrats say that we're in a Huh. Okay. Sorry. They're the ones that are causing the constitutional crisis. Yeah, I don't know what happened. It's got some serious challenges going on here. What's happening here? I've got some network issue thing going on. Hold on. Yeah. Let me see. I can't tell. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I'm seeing some problems here. Hold on. It's very, very odd. Come on now. This is yeah, I'm give me just a second here. Let me see what is going on here. So okay, so I'm getting there. It's just going. Yeah, so I'm doing okay up until. No, I'm not. This is a bit of a problem. Seems to be doing better now, you're saying? Okay. Yeah, it doesn't. No, it's still having some issues here. Let's see if it's doing the exact same thing on. All right, so Facebook looks like it's doing better, and I think. Let me go to the. Hopefully, I can get to the live here. And let's go all the way to live. Come on. So. So X seems to have dropped completely off, which is weird. Because it shouldn't have. All right. Well, I'm not seeing any problems there. Okay. Do here. I'm going to reset. Reset and see what can be done here. So, going to reset. Come on. There. All right. Let's see. Hopefully that maybe clears it up. I don't know. I mean, even checking like YouTube is kind of out of the park here. So YouTube is a problem there. Rumble is a problem. No, maybe not. So Rumble appears to be coming back now. I don't know what's happening, but anyway, all right. I think we're maybe clearing back up here, so I hope. Wow, something seriously hit. I don't know what happened, but something seriously hit. And so yeah, I don't know what happened here, but the Rumble appears to be coming back now. Hopefully everything is going to be showing back up here in a second. Anyway, all right. We'll continue on. Yeah, Facebook. I don't know. Facebook is back. Because I see it again. I see it now. And let's see. Rumble looks like it's coming. It's working now too. So is Rumble okay? I think so. I can see it. 14 people. All right, folks. I'm just going to go ahead and plow on. All right. Looks like hopefully that clears up. I don't know what the heck happened there, because I didn't lose any connection here. It just was something that was going on with Restream or something. I don't know. It was just weird. It was odd. Very, very odd. So, and I don't know what the heck was going on there, but I don't know. It's just weird. I'll have to send off my logs to Restream and let them know they got a problem. But anyway. Okay, so it looks like everything's all right. Where was I? Oh, yes, I was talking about the Democrats causing a constitutional crisis. So they literally are. I mean, they're doing it because they want a constitutional crisis under Trump. And we'll get to more of that here in just a minute, but let me go ahead and get things kicked off. Tonight's pledge is done. 3 Chevy is up on deck, and unfortunately he is not here right now. But 3 Chevy is on deck. So if you are of mine, please stand, remove your hat if you're wearing one, like me. Place your hand over your heart and follow along with 3 Chevy as he recites the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All righty, folks. And I thank you, 3 Chevy, for that wonderful rendition of the pledge. If you would like to hear your rendition of the pledge played here on the program, all you need to do is record yourself reciting or performing the pledge in your style, then take that audio file, video file, whatever kind of file, and send it off to me. Send it to fans, F-A-N-S, at AmericanPerspective.online. That's fans, F-A-N-S, at AmericanPerspective.online. And I'll get you into the rotation. If you do it on your phone, I hear you can use the share button to do the exact same thing and send it off to fans, F-A-N-S, at AmericanPerspective.online. And I'll get you into the rotation. I'm looking for number 21. I've got 20. I need 21 now. So send it off to me as soon as you can. And I'll get you into the rotation. All righty. Tonight's headline sponsor is the Institute on the Constitution. Kind of interesting that we're talking about constitutional crises, and here we have a great learning opportunity for you, because the Institute on the Constitution was established in 2004 as a 501c3 nonprofit with one singular mission, and that is to restore the constitutional republic through grassroots education. All courses and materials are developed using primary source documents and taught from the American view of law and government as defined in the Declaration of Independence and the following 3 key points. 1, there is a God. 2, our rights come from him. And 3, the purpose of civil government is to secure and protect our God-given rights. The IOTC offers the opportunity to educate yourself on our most precious founding document, the Constitution of the United States. They also provide tools to educate your community and get involved with local government. Start by taking their free U.S. Constitution course and go from there. Use my affiliate link, iotc.americanperspective.online, to sign up, and while you are there, take a moment to look through their other course material and information. My affiliate link, once again, is iotc.americanperspective.online to get great content to learn about our historical founding and support the show in the process. That's iotc.americanperspective.online, or if you just want to purchase this fabulous Saddleback leather-bound U.S. Constitution to support the show, or perhaps educate somebody on the Constitution, go to constitution.americanperspective.online. Take a look at this wonderful thing. It's got 1/8 of an inch of Saddleback leather wrapped around pages that are water and tear resistant. No cheap glue here, folks. It is stitched all the way through the pages and the leather, binding everything together. Yes, it has sexy rounded corners, and everything is in numerical order, according to Nana. If you have a problem with this thing, because it does have a 100-year warranty against materials and workmanship defects, you can send it back to the manufacturer and they will either fix it or replace it for free. It is buddy tested, buddy approved, Billy tasted, Billy approved, and my youngest whiskey warrior has confirmed that the information contained within will help you to study for your civics badge in scouting, as well as get that civics exam out of the way. You might want to do it for your naturalization as well. Fantastic gift. Don't forget, Christmas is coming up. You may want to purchase them and stick them in your stockings of all your family members, even the Democrat ones. They need it more than most. Anyway, head on over to constitution.americanperspective.online and get yours today. Also, check out the rest of the Institute on the Constitution's offerings, as I know that they have a plethora of information about this wonderful country that we call home. And, yeah, I appreciate them for allowing me to be an affiliate. All right. Woohoo. Got through that. Well, another federal judge has decided to go rogue. That's right. Now we have a federal judge ordering Trump to end the deployment of the National Guard in D.C., in Washington, D.C. See, now the judge held in their decision that the deployment was unconstitutional. Where do they get this idea that the deployment was unconstitutional? Literally, there is nothing unconstitutional about deploying military troops. I've told you guys this before. It's not in the Constitution. It is, however, in places like the Insurrection Act and the Posse Comitatus Act, but both of those are clear in when they can be deployed. One of them, as a part of the Insurrection Act, is that if the local government doesn't bother to enforce federal law anymore, which is exactly what the D.C. National Guard was doing. This all ties into that stupid-ass video, which I'm going to get to here in just a minute. But anyway, she held that the deployment was unconstitutional, but has paused her order for 3 weeks to allow the government to appeal. Government should appeal. It should go again to the D.C., or to the Circuit Court of Appeals, whichever one it is, and it should be overturned, just like the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals did for California. See, all this is a bunch of lawfare to try and convince people that just because the federal judge orders this, that all of a sudden they're all correct. They're not. Believe me, they are not. They're not correct at all. In fact, it even states under Article 1, Section 8, as I explained last night, that the militia, a.k.a. the military, because the militia, we didn't have a standing army yet at the time the Constitution was written. In fact, the framers of the Constitution did not want a standing army because they didn't believe it was necessary. It wasn't until later that we actually ended up with a standing army. But all of that being said, it does state that Congress can set the rules and conditions for deploying the militia to enforce federal law. There you go, folks. There it is, right there in black and white. Of course, if you had a Constitution and actually read the Constitution, this little guy right here read it, you probably would have figured that out. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, this federal judge is more than likely going to get overturned, just like everybody else has. Anyway, whatever. She's going to try, and she'll probably get slapped down. Because, again, as I've pointed out, these federal judges that are in the lower courts, they think that they can block something at a constitutional level. They don't have that authority. What part of you're in inferior court do you not seem to understand? See, the Supreme Court is the only court that has jurisdiction over constitutional questions, as well as having jurisdiction to rein in the other two branches. That is the only constitutional court that has the authority to do so. End of story. Period. Full stop. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Anyway. So, recently, another celebration of the left, which they've quickly forgotten, by the way, but another celebration of the left had to deal with the fact that there was a 2-1 panel ruling striking down the Texas congressional map that just got written. Well, that one judge, the dissenting judge, has now been able to open up his mind. His name is U.S. Circuit Court Judge Jerry Smith. And he's actually accusing his colleagues of usurping the authority of the legislature through their outrageous conduct to overturn this new congressional map. Now, his dissent, by the way, was released a day after the original congruent opinion was issued. And the reason being, according to Smith, was that the majority refused to wait for Smith to actually write his dissent after notifying him last minute of their decisional release. Smith wrote, "In my 37 years on the federal bench, this is the most outrageous conduct by a judge I have ever encountered in a case in which I have been involved." See, the two unelected district judges issued a ruling Tuesday striking down the new House map for Texas, arguing that the new map appears. So they don't have any proof of it, but appears to be race-based gerrymandering, which is illegal. Now, Texas redrew the map, and notably, it was that the U.S. Department of Justice had sent a letter in Texas back in July, or letter to Texas back in July, urging them to redraw their map because of the, oh my God, race-based districts in the existing map. Yeah. So they went ahead and called their special session. He referenced the letter in it. Governor Greg Abbott did, so on and so forth. And they went ahead and redistricted. Okay. Well, now that majority alleged in their ruling that the DOJ's letter urged redistricting on the basis of race. No, it said the original one was racist. Now, I'm going to tell you, all of this is not going to matter if SCOTUS can get off their ass and do what they are potentially going to do, which is get rid of Section 2 in terms of using race as a criterion for districting. Not redistricting, but for districting. Okay? If they get rid of that, all of this shit goes away. It all does. Anyway, Smith dissented with this, and he argued that the majority opinion would be a prime candidate for the Nobel Prize for fiction. Smith called the majority's ruling the most blatant exercise of judicial activism that he has ever witnessed. He goes, the majority could have saved the readers a lot of time and effort by merely stating the following. One, I just don't like what the legislature did here. It was unnecessary, and it seems unfair to disadvantaged voters. I need to step in to make sure wiser heads prevail over the nakedly partisan and racially questionable actions of these zealous lawmakers, just as I did to the lawmakers in Galveston County and Petaway. I'm using my considerable clout as a federal district judge to put a stop to bad policy judgments. After all, I get paid to do what I think is right. Wow. Boy, he got pissed. He's mad. He also argued that the claim is that the redistricting on racial grounds rather than political grounds is absurd. He wrote, in part, it makes no sense to advance the notion that the Republican legislature would draw districts for the purpose of disadvantaging racial and ethnic minorities, if by doing so they lessen the number of new Republican seats they might gain. The plaintiff's theory is both perverse and bizarre. They actually contend that if the Republicans are sincere about gaining more seats, they could have drawn not 5, but 6, 7, or 8 additional seats, and that the reason they did not is that the real reason is racial animus. The absurdity of that notion speaks for itself. Yet, it's all that the plaintiffs and Judge Brown have to offer to defeat the state's claim that the 2025 lines were drawn for the sake of politics and not race. Smith continued that the majority commits a grave error in concluding that Texas legislature is more bigoted than political, while pointing out that the other side of this political question is that Alex and George Soros are the real political winners here. He says it's all politics on both sides of the political aisle. George and Alex Soros have their hands all over this, Smith wrote. Yeah. He goes, the main winners are Judge Brown's opinion and are George Soros and Gavin Newsom. The obvious losers are the people of Texas and the rule of law. I dissent. Oh, boy. Yeah. Anyway. He just says, on a silver platter, Judge Brown hands Soros a victory at the expense of the people of Texas and the rule of law. Judge Brown won't tell you that. I just did. He also argues that the majority's opinion violates what's called the Purcell principle, which stipulates that courts should not make changes to voting maps too close to an election, and that the majority's opinion is the violation itself, since, according to Smith, the 2025 map is the status quo. Yeah. So, there you go. This is just going to go on and on and on and on and on and on. Until the SCOTUS can get rid of the whole idea of race. I mean, just throw it out. Like I said, the only criterion you should have is how many people live in an area. Period. That's it. Don't care about how they vote. Don't care about what their race is. Don't care about their predilections to liking pecan pie or pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving. None of that should matter. None of that should matter. The one thing and one thing only is how many adult or how many people live in an area, and there you go. And that's it. That's all you do. It's just how many people exist. That's your redistricting. That's it. All right. Well, here, I got to show this again. And I want you folks to, really listen to this, because I have a couple of arguments on the backside of this thing that I think you all should take note of. But you guys have got to listen to this. And seriously, I'm just telling you, well, we'll get it on the backside. Here it is.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow.
I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
Who take risks each day
To keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military,
And intelligence community professionals.
against American citizens.
like us. You all swore an oath.
To protect and defend this Constitution.
And right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad.
But from right here at home.
Our laws are clear. You can refuse illegal orders.
You can refuse illegal orders.
You must refuse illegal orders.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
Or our Constitution.
We know this is hard.
And that it's a difficult time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
In the Army.
Our Navy.
The Air Force.
Your vigilance is critical.
and know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever,
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws.
Our Constitution.
And who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
don't give up.
Don't give up the ship.
All right. Yeah, don't give up the ship, they say. Now, when you listen to that, I mean, seriously, when you listen to that, first of all, you need to understand there's a timing aspect to this. Okay? Now, if they had done this video, because one of the arguments that is being made is that, no, these people, all they're simply doing is just reminding everybody of the soldiers' moral duty to not follow illegal orders. Okay. Throw that out the window, because that's a bunch of bunk. All right? Think about it. Timing is everything here, people. Timing is everything. We're in a situation where we have these individuals who are literally telling you do not have to follow unlawful orders. Now, here's the thing. If a military service member hears that and is falling on the political side of the aisle of the Democrats, they're basically going to say, well, damn, I'm following an unlawful order right now. I guarantee it. If you put that in front of an individual who has never served in the military, does not know the Constitution, does not know federal law, the first thing that comes out would be, well, I must be following an unlawful order then. I mean, 6 former military folks have put this on a video. You realize how stupid and dumb most of the American populace is when it comes to stuff like this. Hell, half of them can't even recite or talk about the Constitution. They don't even know, outside of the most obvious amendments, some of the other amendments that we deal with. You ask them about the Bill of Rights, and half of them think that the Bill of Rights was passed at the same time that the Constitution was. Hell, most people that I know mix up the fact that the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution are separate documents, and that somewhere in the Constitution exists the following words: separation of church and state. That the Constitution lawfully and legally says you can overthrow your government, which are two common misconceptions because of the fact that they do not understand, they haven't read, they haven't absorbed the Constitution yet. And so when you put out something like this in a politically diverse and charged position that we're in, where these federal judges are overstepping their bounds and telling the admin, hey, this is unconstitutional, when it is clearly not unconstitutional to do this. The intent of this video, regardless of whether they mention it or don't mention it, is to get military and CIA intelligence officers questioning whether or not their orders are lawful, and the ones that already think that there is a possibility that these could be unlawful will take action. Now, that in and of itself is a violation of United States code. You cannot tell me under any circumstance that these 6 Democrats putting together this specific video are not attempting, it has an intent now, are not intending or attempting to interfere with, impair, influence the loyalty, morale, and discipline of the military or naval forces of the United States. That is the first line. The first line under Title 18, United States Code, Section 2387. That is the first line. Whoever, with intent to interfere with, impair, or influence the loyalty, morale, or discipline of the military. That is their intent. It says, under subsection 1, under that, says, advises, counsels, urges, or in any manner causes or attempts to cause insubordination. There it is, right there. Disloyalty, mutiny, refusal of duty by any member of the military. What do you think the intent of that video was actually to be? It was not to just, hey, public service announcement, folks. Don't forget, you don't have to follow unlawful orders. No, it was put out specifically to push toward Trump. Now, if they'd have done this 5 years ago under Biden and said the exact same thing, just remember, folks, from a former military person, you do not have to follow unlawful orders. If they'd have done something like that, sure. Or if it was part of a training video that would have been part of a unlawful orders training section of the military services. Okay, I'm okay with that. Those would be just fine. But no, they decided to pick now when all of the rhetoric from the left is, well, Trump is doing things unconstitutionally, even though he's been winning in court, consistently winning in court, even at the Supreme Court level with regards to his deployment of troops, that he has been demonstrating and has won multiple times these federal court judges and justices who are overstepping their authority, that even the Supreme Court, albeit they didn't do it very much, but didn't do it very forcefully, the Supreme Court did state, hey, you guys might be stepping out your boundaries here, folks. You might want to be cautious about that. But no. You're sitting here and you're telling me that that particular video, considering the fact of who was in it, their intent was clearly to cause or attempt to cause, and that's the key, attempt to cause. Whether or not anything comes out of this video is irrelevant. They intended to interfere with and they attempted to cause insubordination, disloyalty, mutiny, or refusal of duty, they are in violation of 18 U.S. Code Section 2387. Period. Now, some folks have gone to the motion or to the notion of putting out some videos on this. One of them is Nick Freitas, or Freitas. I don't know how it's pronounced. Anyway, Nick has a message. And, well, let's just say he's a very sarcastic guy. But here's Nick's message. Wait a minute. I don't understand why the audio isn't playing here. My bad. I don't know what happened here with the video, with the audio. Wait. Let me refresh this and see if I can get this to actually.
Well, some Democrat members of Congress who are former military and members of the intelligence community got together to do this little video lecturing you active duty service members about your oath to the Constitution. Because after all, if anybody cares about the Constitution, it's these guys. I mean, except for like the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, elements of the Ninth and 10th Amendment. And of course, they regularly stray from the constraints that are put on them in Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution. But other than that, they really, really super duper care about the Constitution. And they also want you to know that they respect what you do and they have your back. I mean, unless, of course, you're getting kicked out of the military for not wanting to take an experimental vaccine. Then they don't have your back at all. But look, the bottom line is you can't follow unlawful orders. And that's true. Now, they didn't offer any specific unlawful orders that you've been given, but that's not the point here. The point is they really care about you and the Constitution, except when they don't. So, listen to them or something. Yeah. Well, some Democrat members of Congress who are former military and members of the intelligence community got together.
Now, he is he's doing this sarcastically, but I'm just going to tell you right now, those former members, yeah, those guys, and yeah, I mean, they're all Democrats. They're all freaking stupid, and they all hate Trump, and they all are the ones that are, yeah. Anyway, I like Nick. I like what he stands for. I like what he talks about. I like his videos on a lot of this stuff. Well, Donald Trump called out this whole thing. And he put out on Truth Social, he said, it's called seditious behavior at the highest level. Well, he's not wrong. He really isn't. Because that section that I talked to you about, yeah, guess what? That falls under Title 18, Chapter 115. Yeah, that section is in Chapter 115. Now, 115's title is Treason, Sedition, and Subversive Activities. So guess what? 2387 is in there. You can see it on the screen here. I have it highlighted. You can see it right there. There it is, 2387. Activities affecting armed forces generally, meaning not during war. Yeah. So there you go. Folks, these leftists. Oh, and by the way, I was just asked by Nana, what's the punishment? Well, if they're found guilty of this, they shall be fined under this title or imprisoned for not more than 10 years or both, and shall be ineligible for employment by the United States or any department or agency thereof for the 5 years following the conviction. So, yeah. They can be fined and imprisoned for 10 years. And that's just at the lowest level. I mean, if you could potentially make a case, seriously, you could potentially make a case that this is seditious conspiracy. In which case, seditious conspiracy, just to kind of throw this up here, so seditious conspiracy carries a sentence of imprisonment of 20 years. So they can be fined or imprisoned for up to 20 years, or both. So, yeah. 10 years, 20 years, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't think they could get seditious conspiracy, although it would be interesting to see them try, but I doubt they could get seditious conspiracy. But they certainly, absolutely could get this, the 2387. They could acquire that because it is very clear. Whoever, no exceptions, whoever, with the intent to interfere with, impair, or influence the loyalty, morale, and discipline of the military, advises, counsels, urges, or in any manner causes or attempts to cause insubordination, disloyalty, mutiny, or refusal of duty by any member of the military. There it is right there, folks. We can definitely get them for that, for sure. Because you can't sit here and tell me the timing of this is not relevant. That the fact that we have Trump in office, that he's deploying the military services legally and lawfully, having them support and enforce written federal law that's been on the books for years. Okay. All of that, you're telling me that none of that is going to matter. The timing and none of that makes any difference. And that is a bunch of crap. And I know it's a bunch of crap. And especially given the people, the individuals, who can be shown and proven to hate Trump and try to get Trump, especially that Captain Mark Kelly guy, along with some of the others, like Alyssa Slotkin. Yeah. You could easily make a case out of this. Simply and easily make a case out of this. And they should make a case. I would love to see the Department of Justice go after them. Well, the Colorado Democrat representative, his name is Jason Crow, was on a show, The Story, with Martha MacCallum. And Martha MacCallum, well, she kind of asked him a few questions about what's going on with this. You got to hear what he says, is it? And I'm telling you, this right here, too, his quote-unquote defense of what he is saying, yeah, that would fall right into 2387 as well. Here, let's take a quick listen to this.
In advance is important. You can never wait until there's a problem to train people and prepare them for that.
Well,
it's really important that we set the conditions right now to make sure that people understand their constitutional obligations. And we are only talking about unlawful orders versus lawful orders.
Right.
That is the
you just haven't
distinction.
Outlined what any specific unlawful order. This is Senator Eric Schmidt that he released on X. This is what he said. At the end of the day, he's speaking about the members of Congress who did this video. They're mad at the American people that the American people chose Trump, and now they're calling on the military and intelligence community to intervene. Sounds a little, quote, subversive to democracy-ish, says Senator Eric Schmidt. So let me give you a moment to respond to that, Congressman.
Yeah, I mean, that's so patently false and absurd, I don't even know how to respond to it. What we are doing is reminding people of their obligations under federal law and under the UCMJ in no different way than I did when I was an infantry officer and an infantry lieutenant preparing my soldiers to be deployed. It is as simple as that. So
well,
people, that's unfortunate that in politics these days, people grab something and twist it and contort it and lie.
Some might say that
make it into
you have
something
grabbed
it's
something
not.
and twisted it and contorted it. You have, you're talking to young members of the American military, and you're not telling them specifically what it is they should see as illegal. So you're putting ideas into their head that maybe they're being asked to do something illegal. And what we're seeing, actually, is recruitment rising. And people wanting to join the military under the president.
Here's an interesting fact for you, Martha. Our men and women actually are very smart, very incredible men and women in our military. And
you don't have to tell me that.
Well, apparently I do.
No, you don't, sir. I have great respect for the United States military.
Well, you don't think they can handle a reminder about federal law and the UCMJ, is what I'm hearing. And a recent survey showed that 8 out of 10 service members deeply understand their obligation of lawful orders, right? 8 out of 10. So we want to get that. That should be 10 out of 10. But this is something that they're trained on. Go and look at the training. Maybe even go and participate or observe some of the training that our men and women go through. It is incredible. We expect a lot of these men and women. They go through very intense, rigorous training because they're put in intense, rigorous positions. And frankly...
Okay, so I got a question. I got to stop him for just a second right now. If the military is already training them on this, then what the hell are you and the other 5 morons that jumped on with you doing? You're not training them at all. And I'm telling you, as a former military member myself, I guarantee you that, yes, they do go through training on the idea of lawful and unlawful orders. Okay. If I was interviewing this guy, that would have been my first thing. Then what the hell are you doing? Why? You're sitting here touting their training programs. You're touting their training programs, and yet you are now saying that, oh, they don't have enough training, so we got to put out this publicly available video inferring that these people, these wonderful people who go through all of this wonderful training and are very, very smart and already know all this, we just need to remind them of this. Again, folks, timing is everything. They are doing this specifically and on purpose. They are expecting that there will be that 2 out of 10 that this guy just identified who are going to say, I think this is an unlawful order to, help round up illegal aliens in a city that is a sanctuary city and isn't enforcing the federal law, which is exactly what they are trying to do. Anyway, I'm going to let him finish.
I bristle at the notion that they can't handle a suggestion or a reminder of what the law requires them to do and what the Constitution requires them to do. You actually disparage them when you say that a simple reminder. It's
not a simple reminder, jackass. You guys did this on purpose. You released this on purpose, which means that you had an intent, and an attempt to foment insubordination, disloyalty, etc., in the military services. That was your point. That was your point. Your entire point in doing this video. His entire point in doing the video. Shut up, you moron. I'm going to borrow Mark Levin's. God. There's no way that anybody could sit there, watch that original video, and listen to this guy try and attempt to backpedal and be like, well, it was just a reminder. No, it wasn't. I guarantee you it had nothing to do with a reminder of this stuff. None whatsoever. This guy is a complete and utter stupid moron, and as well as the other 5 that were with him. And whoever was the producer, because, you got to remember there's the people behind the camera too. Because these idiots can't do something like that. I almost guarantee you that none of these idiots could do exactly what I do on a daily basis, every single day. Bringing you truth, bringing you facts, bringing you evidence, being able to moderate and run the whole show. And granted, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back here, but man, they've got a lot of stuff going on here. And these guys can't even get one thing right, which is uphold the Constitution and do your constitutional duty. Oh, yeah, that's true. They also have a scriptwriter. I'm doing this all off the cuff, folks. I do, everything that I do for the most part, about 75 to 80% of it is literally just off the cuff, extemporaneous speech. And these guys, they would not be able to survive with that. Not that I'm trying to pat myself on the back here or anything like that, but people are morons. They're idiots. They need to go to jail for this, or at the very least, arrest their ass and put them on trial for this crap. At the very least. Because they would have to show or demonstrate, no. No, we didn't do it. Hell, the prosecution could just show all of their personal or but not even their personal, their government social media accounts and be able to demonstrate a history of hatred of Donald Trump and his decision-making abilities, and then tie that into, hey, you're already against Trump. And now we're here in this particular time where you don't want Trump to deploy the National Guard. You've been very vocal about that. And you're now suggesting that those are actually unlawful orders when they have been determined to be lawful orders, because they are upholding not only the Constitution, but they're also upholding the federal immigration laws in particular. So, yeah, is this in the hands of a wise prosecutor? I honestly think this would be a slam dunk, because the only defense that they would have would be to get up on the stand and just claim innocence. That's the only defense that they would have. Because again, I go back to that video, and I'm going to play it again just because I mean, it's short. It's 1 minute and 30 seconds long, but I'm going to stop it this time on the point where they actually call out for the military to do this. Take a listen again.
I'm Senator Alyssa Slotkin.
Senator Mark Kelly.
Representative Chris DeLuzio.
Congresswoman Maggie Goodlander.
Representative Chrissy Houlihan.
Congressman Jason Crow.
I was a captain in the United States Navy.
Former CIA officer.
Former Navy.
Former paratrooper and Army Ranger.
Former intelligence officer.
Former Air Force.
We want to speak directly to members of the military
And the intelligence community.
Who take risks each day
To keep Americans safe.
We know you are under enormous stress and pressure right now.
Okay, stop right there. Right there. She is setting this up. We know that you're under enormous stress and pressure right now. Wink, wink. We know. Yeah, we know. I'm going to continue. So there's point one.
Americans trust their military.
But that trust is at risk.
Oh, there we go. There's number two. Oh, the trust in the military. The trust in the military is at risk. Yeah, if you guys follow these orders, whatever these orders are, yeah, you might be like, the trust in the military is not at risk, or is at risk. Yeah, the trust is. Really.
This administration is pitting our uniformed military
And intelligence community professionals.
against American citizens.
No, they are not. There is a straight up 100% lie. There is absolutely, the military has not gone up against civilians at all, or American citizens at all. They can't arrest anybody. They have no police powers. They're there for support only. I mean, look, if you want to claim this is kind of like, Ben Shapiro talks about this with the Epstein stuff. If you want to claim that Donald Trump is a pedophile, just come out and say it. Don't sit here and talk about all this, Trump's name's in the Epstein files. No shit. Seriously. I mean, this is where it starts. Yes, the military is being pitted against American citizens. Really? They are.
like us. You all swore an oath.
To protect
Oh, yeah. Now, here's the other part.
and defend this Constitution.
Right now, the threats to our Constitution aren't just coming from abroad.
Oh, that's setting it up. Here it is.
From right here at home.
Our laws are clear.
Yes, they are. And they're being enforced right now. See, all of this is suggestive. It is extremely suggestive that, trust in the military is disappearing. Don't forget that the military is being deployed against American citizens. No, it's not. None of that is true. Now, you are correct in the fact that, yes, there are dangers that are being done here in the American, within the American borders, and they're being done by you morons. Exactly. You morons. Oh my gosh. Anyway.
You can refuse illegal orders.
See, now, here's where the message comes through. So they've set you up. They have set you up with the idea that, 1, trust in the military has been eroded. 2, that the military is now being deployed against American citizens. 3, that you are supposed to uphold and defend the Constitution and our laws. Which law? What law? What law is being broken right now? Seriously. Just asking that. And now they're fomenting the idea in somebody who is just sitting here watching this. They're fomenting this idea about the idea that, oh, yeah, you know what? Maybe these orders are illegal because, you know, the trust in the military is gone. It's eroding. And, you know, the Constitution, yeah. And we're going up against American civilians. All of this is bullshit. Don't tell me that whoever wrote this was not intending on the idea to foment an attempt. And this is the thing, is all they have to do is attempt it. Their intent is to get people to question what they are doing, to get the military members in the intelligence community to question what they are doing, which is automatically a violation of Section 2387. Automatically. It doesn't have to be successful. All they have to do is attempt it. That's the intent. That is the intent of this.
You can refuse illegal orders.
There's another one. Notice she changed the word. Illegal versus unlawful. They changed the word a little bit.
You must refuse illegal orders.
Oh, this one. You must. Oh, you can. You can. Well, now you must. Yeah. This is the problem, folks.
No one has to carry out orders that violate the law.
Okay.
Or our Constitution.
We know this is hard.
Yeah. We know this is hard. Now here they're trying to soothe it. Hey, you know, you're doing the right thing if you refuse. You're doing the right thing because it's a difficult
time to be a public servant.
But whether you're serving in the CIA,
the Army,
or Navy,
the Air Force,
your vigilance is critical.
Oh, yes, you must watch for this stuff.
Know that we have your back.
Because now, more than ever.
It's now. Again, that timing. Now, because we're facing, and I mean, they could immediately just follow up with the idea that now more than ever, because of the fact that we have Trump in office, a totalitarian dictator, you could easily see that any one of them just following right along with that phrase. Yeah, you're sitting here telling me that's not their intent. Their intent is to just inform people. Yeah, sure.
The American people need you.
We need you to stand up for our laws,
our Constitution.
Which is exactly what they are doing. Oh, my God. They're, again, inferring that there is something illegal going on here. No, it's not illegal.
And who we are as Americans. Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Okay, and then, of course, they give this, don't give up the ship. I don't give a crap about that. That's a Navy term. I don't care. The point is, I just broke it down for you completely as to what these morons are intending, what the intent of the video was. It is fully in violation of this. Because, again, whoever, with the intent to interfere with, attempts to cause insubordination, disloyalty, mutiny, or refusal of duty. There you go. There's their violation. That's it. They intended to interfere with. They're intending on this to interfere with. The language is there. The setup is there. The finish is there to make you not feel guilty about doing what you're about ready to do. They are doing this all on purpose. All on purpose. This is a total intent. You can't get anything else out of that. As that guy, whatever his name is, this idiot, said, it's like, oh no, they receive all kinds of training on this. Then what was the point of the video? If they receive all this training, if they are highly skilled, highly intelligent, they are incredibly aware of what is a lawful and unlawful order, then what is the point of the video? Why do 6 seemingly random people, they're not picked from random, but seemingly random people, get put together in this video to say right here, right now, under this president who is purported to be and claimed to be the most divisive president ever. Why now? Why haven't you guys done this? Why hasn't this been a continual thing? If this is such an important message that has to be done every so often, then why now? Why now? I'm sorry, this is irritating to me. This is totally irritating to me. It is so disrespectful, so un-American. In my view, they have done essentially what was it called? What is it particularly called? Subversive activity. They have clearly done subversive activity. This is exactly what this is. If you think that this is anything but that, you are a complete and utter stupid moron. You obviously are not recognizing the situation. Clearly, you're not recognizing the situation. All right, I am over time. I'm out of time. Sorry about the earlier on technical difficulties. I do appreciate you guys hanging out for it. Anyway, that's it for me for this evening. Do me a favor, if you haven't already, head on over to rumble.com, get yourself an account. It is free. And once you are signed up and signed in, make sure that you search up the American Perspective channel and hit that green follow button to get notified every time I go live. Also, too, don't forget to hit those thumbs up, thumbs downs, or, of course, in the case of 3 Chevy, the thumb sideways across all of my platforms, whether it's X, YouTube, Facebook, or, of course, the aforementioned Rumble. We will see you tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on American Perspective. Have a great rest of your evening. And good night, everybody.